Hello YouTube, do you want to improve at jungle pathing, matchups and objective control, as well as climbing up the rank ladder? Then remember that you can book your own VOD review or live game review coaching session together with me either through Metafy or by DMing me on Discord. I have over 500 coaching sessions already, and I've hit Grandmaster in 3 different seasons on the West and Challenger on Nordic and East also in 3 different seasons, on both jungle and on support. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Really nice that you do Grump and then blue buff. Very, very good. You do Scuttle Crab. And then let's see, can we do anything? There's not really anything to do here, so... Recall and Biosury the Turk, I assume. Go back to top side and farm, yep. Let me see, did you smite big one or small one here? Okay, you smite the small one, good. You only do this for Kha Zix for the isolation damage.
Hey man, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, what's up?
Oh, sorry, my computer actually just shit itself, so I didn't hear anything from when you were at my prugs basically, but don't worry about it, keep going.
Okay, nothing important happened. Oh, a really good flash E. Here I would just leave the wave, or simply last hit it, because it's pushing towards set still. So any last hit you can get, we obviously take, but you don't want to push it, because if you push it, then it will slowly push towards the enemy, and then it's actually in a good spot for Akali. If all of these minions, the red minions, die, these ones here, then you can take all of the blue ones, and then the wave is just frozen in the middle. If you want to play more for yourself than for set, it's fine for you to do in solo queue, but you need to make sure that all the red minions die first. So here, for example. So you can either kill all of the minions here, or you can simply hold the minions by walking here, and then wait for the red minions to be outside of tower range, and then have the wave in a really good spot for set. Depends who you play more for. The problem with what you're doing here is that now you're actually doing a slow push into the Akali. Because now it's going to be 7 versus 7 minions, but they're going to meet here instead of here. Yeah, so if they meet in the middle, it's frozen lane, it's in the middle. But when it's here, the next minion wave of red minions are going to arrive earlier because they have to travel less. So that means that they're ready to fight. And that means that on the next wave, the minion wave might be here. On next one again, it might be here, right? So at some point, set will be overextending. Because of the fact that you let the wave crash and then last it under tower. So either kill the wave outside of tower range before the red minions can attack, or simply pull it out here so that the tower doesn't kill the minions.
Okay, yep, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, one thing that led me to not before is I was scared to like clear the minion wave too fast. I'm just scared of like my Zed pinging me off to like not even touch the wave. So before, was it better to just not touch the wave at all because it was going to slow push back into thing, or?
So that's fine. So here, as you can see, there's 6 versus 2 minions now. So the closer the minions are to the tower, the more minions you need on the enemy. So right here, you'll need no extra minions. When it's here, then you'll need 1 extra minion. Here, +2. Here, +3. Because mid lane is very short, a lane compared to the side lanes, you can only realistically have like 3 extra caster minions before it will push too fast and crash into the tower. It's a little bit easier to show on bot lane where it's a little bit longer. So 0, +1, +2, +3. So it doesn't matter how many minions you have, you just need 1, 2, 3 extra minions on the enemy. So it can be 6 versus 7, 6 versus 8, 6 versus 9. It can be 7 versus 8, right? The amount of minions don't matter. You just need 1 extra minion or 2 extra minions on the enemy for it to still be slowly pushing towards you. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
So that's where I'm saying that as long as you don't kill all the blue minions before the red minions die, then the wave is just going to be even. What you could have done otherwise was just pull it up here so that the minions don't run into the tower, and then set is fine.
Okay, I was just about to say if I could do that. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Because you will see now that it's going to push. He can obviously then push it fully in, but let's say Akali got back into lane earlier or whatever, but it doesn't end up mattering. But on side lane, it can matter more because of the lane being longer.
Yeah, okay.
Set dies again, that's a bit unfortunate. New evolve Q. So Gwen is on top side, so here, see what we can do. We can potentially dive the Jinx, or we can simply take the Drake. We take Drake, that's fine. And then we see that they're running to do the Void Grubs. So here, what you want to do is you want to punish the fact that Gwen is doing an objective. So we can't make it here in time. So we have to simply see what we can get on bot side. Your red buff is up. That means her red buff is up. So that's one thing. Second thing is we can try and see if we can kill their bot lane. They're not really in lane right now. So the only way we can really kill them is if you don't think that this is worth it, then you can jump over the wall here, run here and see if you can kill them in this area. If Jinx is isolated or whatever, then you can actually probably one-shot her with Serrated Dirk that you have. Yeah. Oh, you don't have Serrated Dirk, you go pickaxe.
Yeah, I was rushing the new item. I should probably go the other way though.
Oh, the hubris one?
Hubris, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I
okay.
think so. It's the electric. It's like the electrical damage one.
Yeah. Yeah. That one doesn't have Serrated Dirk. Yeah, okay. Then it's just built. That's fine. So yeah, obviously, one option is we can go red. Another option is you can either jump here or the long way around and then see if you can kill the Jinx coming back to lane somewhere here.
Okay.
Those are like the two only options that you really have. But we have to do one of them because Gwen is doing grubs. Here you don't really have to be afraid because we still see that Gwen is topside and you have your Taric and your Caitlyn close. So this is going to be a 3v3. Akali, Jinx, Leona, and then you, Taric, Caitlyn. But you also have your Set who at some point can come and help as well. So you don't have to be too afraid here. I think you could actually just keep on kiting the red buff up and then smite it. You still have your E, you still have your ult, so nothing really to be afraid of.
Yep.
Very, very good. So here, you staying, I only want you to stay if you have the thought process of 1.7k gold is not enough. I need 1.8, 1.9. If you need a specific amount of gold to recall on, then it's fine. If not, then we're actually staying with too much gold. Because
so I was recalling and I actually looked at the shop and realized I didn't have enough to finish my item. So
okay, then it's perfectly fine. Because normally what you want to do is you don't want to stay with any more than 1300 gold. Because the most expensive item that you can buy, that's a part item. It might actually be Brutalizer now, but that's what, 1350 or whatever. But it used to be BF Sword, right? That was the most expensive part item that you could buy. But for Kha Zix, obviously Serrated Dirk at 1000 gold feels really, really nice. So even at 1000 gold, you're not the strongest that you could possibly be if you have 1000 gold. Because then you're missing out on 30 AD and 10 lethality. So that means that you are limited in the amount of options that are potentially going to happen now. So that means right now you're limited to simply farming. You can't fight because you're missing out on about 40 AD and some lethality. Because you haven't bought any items. So farming is just fine, but you can't go and invade the blue buff, for example, right now. Even though it's coming up, simply because you have too much gold in the bank. Okay, let's see here. You get your E out. You do, but she still hits you and then you die. Yeah. I mean, did we see her move in here? I think she just ran through. Ah, okay. We see her actually here.
Yep. Yeah, I see.
So after you see her,
awareness diff, I guess.
it's simply figuring out like where did you see the enemy last. Because if you see Akali recalling, for example, in mid lane, then it's fine that you don't see her on the map because you know that she's in base. But when you see her here, we don't know exactly where she is, but she's not in mid lane, so she has to be somewhere in the top side. So
yeah, she's not in mid, she's not in like the top lane ganking, so she's got to be in my top somewhere.
So here you simply have to either recall by your item or wait until Akali shows up in mid lane. It might take 30 seconds, it might take a minute, you never know. But you simply have to wait.
Alright.
And that could be because you were on a ward that she moved right there instantly. Not entirely sure, but when you see her on this ward, then we just wait.
Okay.
So here I don't like the fact that you're using a smite, because if you look at the timers, we know that Void Grub spawns in a minute, and we see that Drake spawns in a minute. Right now, if we press tab, you will see that Gwen is not that strong, because look at her items, right?
Yeah.
So she has a lot of gold right now, being 2k. So she has to recall before she can contest anything. Otherwise, she will simply be weaker than you. Yeah. So when she is standing up here, I want you to essentially play for top scuttle would be kind of nice. Void grubs to deny the fact that they get 5 or 6 of them. And then after you get the scuttle crab and the void grubs, then you can figure out, okay, do I want a full clear down? Then you just do Crux into Raptors and then full clear down. Or do you see, you know what? My bot lane is actually pushing in the enemy. I can just run straight down towards Drake and get both of the jungle objectives.
Yeah, okay.
So here we prioritize Skullcrab first over the Crux, and then after that we realize that Gwen can't contest us before she recalls, so we play for the grubs.
Okay.
And then obviously save the smite for the grubs. Because now she actually got all of them, and I don't even think that she has recalled. No, she's still staying on the map.
Yep, okay.
So we should be able to punish this. I know Akali is there and she's kind of strong, so then it comes down to, well, can we win 2v2 with the set, or do we need the Teemo? Maybe we need to cover for the Teemo, whatever. But we should not allow Gwen to be able to do this, basically.
Okay.
But now that we have allowed her to do it, the best thing we can do is try and trade the Drake. We get a kill back. Is there anything that we can do against it? So we see that she ran here, so she's probably in this fog of war area here. Yeah, then you see her. Okay, you can definitely escape here. So all you do is just simply use the blast cone. You have many different options. You can use it up here and then E. You can use it over here, then E. You can use it here, E then. Because you have essentially 2 jumps, right? So simply just jump to safety here. The problem is that we just don't use the blast cone, so you can actually survive here.
Yeah, I thought for some reason we're gonna kill because I thought it was a 2-on-1, and then Leona appeared, and it was a bit too late for
Yeah.
my bronze thought process.
When it comes to trading kills, it comes down to obviously either shutdowns, but it also comes down to, as a jungler, you need to make sure that if you die, you don't have any jungle camps available. Because when it comes to lanes, it's not like the enemy can take minions away from you. But in the jungle, you are essentially sharing jungle camps. So if you die, what Gwen could technically do is she could just walk and take your Grump. Then you come out of the map, and then it's like, okay, I don't have any jungle camps. What the fuck do I do? And then you probably just sit and wait for your red buff for 20 seconds, right? So if you don't have jungle camps up, then it's fine for you to trade kills if it makes sense. So let's say it's Kha Zix against a LeBlanc, right? A champion that doesn't scale. Then that's fine. But if you then go and trade 1-for-1 against the Kassadin, then that's really bad, because Kassadin will do more work with 300 gold later on than a Kha Zix will. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Or if you trade 1-for-1 against Arctis, same thing. He outscales you, so he will gladly take an even trade at a stage where he's not strong.
Okay.
Okay, we get the Drake, very good. So here what I would do is, as soon as you kill the Drake, you need to think, okay, what's the next play? So you can say, okay, the next play should be on bot side. But if we have a look at the wave, this is not a wave that we can do anything with, because it's just going to push into the enemy. Right?
Yep.
So the only way we can make a play on bot side is if we can dive them. And that is a little bit scary when we see that our two solo laners are top.
Okay.
So this guy can easily rotate, right? We see this guy, he can also cover bot lane in 20 seconds, right? And we can't dive the enemy bot lane before we've pushed in the wave. So I don't think that there's actually a play to be made on bot side, but I know that there's a possibility that we can fight for the Rift Hill that spawns in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Especially if we get the pick off on the Darius here.
Yeah, okay.
So after Drake, I actually want you to either run straight to the Rift Herald, or if you have some gold, okay, you don't really have any gold here, so you could actually just run straight towards Rift Herald, and then see if we can play for that. Because what we're doing here is we are most likely just going to waste our time. And that's what I was talking about. Gwen could be here.
Yeah. That
Um,
makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, it simply comes down to think about what's the next play. So in this situation, it would be Rift Herald. If you then say, okay, I know we cannot contest Rift Herald because Akali is too strong and we know she's on top side, then that's fair. Then you say, can we make a play on bot side? Can we then dive the bot lane if we know that Akali is on top side? Because down here, you will never have a numbers advantage. Because you have two members on top side. And they had 2 people mid and 2 people bot. And there are no TPs in the game. So it's not like any TPs can suddenly be made where it's like, oh, we just turn on them with a TP. So simply figure out, can we contest Rift Herald? Yes or no. If you can, we go to Rift. If you can't, then you need to figure out, okay, what can I then trade? Then see if there's anything on bot side. Otherwise, you do also have 2 top side camps. Or you can steal this red buff or anything like that, right?
Yeah, okay.
Here I would press tab and see that, oh, you actually have jungle item completed and she hasn't. So her smite is 900, yours is 1200.
Yeah.
So that means that you can probably easily steal it. Darius is also dead, so the only real threat is Akali, where we don't know where she is. But I would still be willing to take this because you do have flash, E, and ult, right? You have everything you want to potentially escape.
Okay.
E smite. Yeah, in that situation, just E smite it because hers is 900 and yours is 1200.
Okay.
You can even take the blast cone over so you can save your E.
Yeah, I was just being like such a pussy in this because like I don't know the matchup with the champion at all, and I didn't see the items. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So here you just need to be ready. She cannot secure Rift Herald at this point, but you can.
Yeah. Okay.
How you would do it? I mean, in this exact moment, you would probably E smite, try and pick up the Rift Herald, and then ulti out with the bonus movement speed. If you can't do that, then you would just run into the pit and then flash over, right? That's why I said you could use the blast cone, right, to use that over the wall and then save your E to get out. But essentially, I want you to contest this because of the fact that she doesn't have smite upgrade, but you do. That's the reasoning. This is a very good play. You saw Gwen was on top side, so if you run straight to bot, you know that you will be there before her. So here you definitely have numbers advantage. Here we have to be a little bit careful because we could face a Gwen soon. You also back out, that's good. Kalden gets a triple kill, that's kind of a problem. And then this is where we see the problem of the fact that they have 6 Void Grubs plus the Rift Herald. Because they're just gonna push mid lane super hard. And Kali's not really strong in this situation before he gets level 11.
Yeah. Is that for the W?
Yeah, exactly. The team fighting ability is really good with W. So yeah, all of this could have been avoided if we just played for the Void Grubs earlier and obviously smited the Rift Herald, then they wouldn't have gotten the inhib. Maybe inhib tower at most, but even that would be questionable if they could get it. Yep, very good. Here you don't have to be afraid because it's 3v1. So here just take the fight. If she wants to take 3v1, we will also gladly take 3v1. But we get the Drake. And this puts us in a really nice situation. So we're up 3-0 on Drakes. So that means that all you want to do is make sure the enemy team can't get the Baron and try and stall the game for 5 minutes and then play for soul. So don't start the Baron, don't look for anything flip. Heavily emphasis on don't die and don't show on bot side. So don't go here and say, you know what, I'm gonna go farm this. Because then 5 members is gonna go there and they're gonna start the Baron and then potentially get it, right? So don't die. Don't show on bot side with enemy team being missing on the map. And then obviously don't make anything really greedy or risky or start the Baron. And just buy as much time so you can play for the soul. That's the game plan for the next 5 minutes.
The amount of times I've showed bot side when Baron's been to push bot wave out and they've taken Baron straight away. I've been learning the hard way, on that one.
Really important to realize what time you had. This should be a kill. Yep, very good. Okay, we get another kill. Very good.
I guess so unlucky too, by the way. She wrapped around and she was in the fog of war.
Yep. I mean, it's normally you would punish an AD carry for going solo on side lane, but the problem is they could. Their Baron is actually not the best without Jinx, but if they get long enough, Gwen can do some damage to it. But the problem is you're in base and they're on Baron.
Yeah, okay.
So now they just got the Baron for free.
Yeah.
Why
So
does
should
that
be
happen?
bot side.
You can be on bot side. You just need to make sure that you have someone close to top lane that can give you vision or spot out the fact that they're on Baron. So you can be here, just don't be here. That's
okay.
that's no go.
Yeah. And then I can just path straight up if I see them.
Yeah, it will take more than 15 seconds for a team to do Baron. So if you just spot them at the start doing it, you have enough time to do the rotation. The problem is as soon as you show here, this is when you will see enemy team suddenly, they get one kill, they might get another one. And then they're like, oh, Kha Zix is bot side, let's start the Baron.
Yeah.
And then at this point, you don't need to be defending. This is not your job,
Okay.
this is Caitlyn's job.
Yeah, okay.
Your job is to, this Baron, they should not get for free.
How are you playing for the Baron in that scenario if I'm going in?
So you play either to zone the enemy team off, or you play for the steal. It depends on how low HP they are and what you have in terms of items and power spikes. So let's say that there's someone who's isolated, who's a ranged champion right here. If you can somehow get to this bush without being spotted, obviously just go and kill that guy for free, right? And otherwise you just sit around somewhere and press W. You can sit here, W like that. You can stand over here, W like that.
Would you suicide to try and secure the Baron if like you're behind, or would you just give it up?
Depends on the situation, because Kha Zix is not the best at defending anyway, and Soul is not gonna spawn before it spawns on 136. So in this situation I would. Because there is also a decent chance that you can steal it. You are playing Kha Zix, right? You're not playing what's like a really weak champion to secure objectives. So it's Ivan, for example. He can't execute it with anything. If you're playing against the new, that might be a different story. Then the shift should probably be, okay, we have to fight or try and kill the new because he can secure it at a much higher HP value than you can. So it also depends on jungle champs, but in this situation you should just be somewhere here, up here, and then W to get some vision, try and go for the steal.
Yeah, okay.
If there's like 40 seconds, less than a minute until Drake spawns, then don't. Then say, okay, we give up the Baron, we try and push out, okay, now your mid inhib is back up, so then you try and push everything out, and then you try and take the Drake, and then you fall back and say, okay, now we have Soul, now we can either fight them, or we can just try and defend our base.
Okay.
We do get some kills back, which is really, really nice. Maybe we can also get Darius, never mind. So now main thing is play for bot side. So here, we're playing on the wrong side of the map. There's no point in chasing the Darius. What you want to do is try and get here into this area before the enemy, so that you as an assassin can go for a flank one shot on someone.
Yeah.
So it could be Akali, it could be Gwen, a little bit of damage onto the Akali, right? So as long as it's not Leona and it's not Darius, you can do some damage, if not kill them. Because even if you kill Darius here, okay, nice, you killed Darius, but they got Drake.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah. But now I think the enemy team will get there first, and you will then be the one running into them instead. Yeah. Try and play for the steal. Okay, really good. No point in hitting the Leona here. She's way too tanky. It's better to try and see if you can do some damage to their backline or something, otherwise just get out, because if you're doing damage to Leona, she's also in range of stunning you, and that's when it gets bad.
Okay.
Okay, we get some kills again. We lose the Drake, but it should stall out the game a little bit. Oh, that W was really unlucky. Do we have Cyrildas yet? Okay, let's talk a little bit about build. So I think the Cyclosaur is fine. I think Ghostblade is fine. Boots is also okay. Mold Mortis is fine because they are double AP on jungle and mid and have kind of high damage. The Edge of Night really comes down to what ability are you trying to block here. You can block the Leona ulti, which is nice, but for example, if you block Leona E, that's irrelevant because she just jumps onto you still, and then she just presses Q. Jinx, there's not really any dangerous ability from Jinx. Akali, I think even if you stop one of her abilities, I think she can still kill. Kind of same thing for Gwen, kind of same thing for Darius. So I don't think Edge of Night is the best here. I think Edge of Night would be good if it's like a Blitzcrank on the enemy team, or potentially a Syndra, or any like dangerous CC ability that just fucks you up. Here I think it's much better for you to get Cyrildas, because look at the amount of armor they have. The Leona have 2 free armor items. Akali has Hourglass, an armor item. Their top laner has 1 armor item. And just the base armor is also quite high, because the levels we're talking is 13 to 15. So typically you would go 2, maybe 3 lethality items, and then you would go Cyrildas.
Okay.
Going any more than that just isn't valuable anymore. So in this game it would be 2, Moth and Mortis is fine, and then start building into that Cyrildas. Because now you just don't do any damage to anyone who has armor. Whereas if you have Cyrildas, you have a little bit of utility with the slow, and you do still some damage onto them. Okay, so the game plan now is just defend the mid inhib. Again, don't die. And let the fight be on either Baron or on Drake. That's where the next fight should be. Okay, good one shot. We have numbers advantage here, so we win this. Yep, very good. You might be dead here. When he flashes, can you then run? When he flashes here, now I would run this way.
Okay.
And try and buy time for your E so that you can E out. I wouldn't run into him. That's where I think it goes bad.
Yeah, I was just yeah.
Like, I think you could have survived it, because you were on 3 stacks, then you ran into him, gave him a 4th stack, and then he ulted. And then, do they just end with a backdoor here?
Yeah. Yeah. And then they win.
Yeah. That is not how the game should have ended.